Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to a new podcast episode. Today we have very nice guy. We have the second hottest guy in this podcast studio. We have Ali Diab. He is a wnbf competitor, and this is our second podcast episode. So last time we talked about fitness, we talked about gym, we talked about his wnbf experience, which was his first time ever competing, which is a very nice thing that he has done and accomplished. He got second place in his first ever WWF competition, which is something very good. And we talked also about nutrition, what he eats, chicken and rice. We talked also about bodybuilders he likes. And we won't classify him as a bodybuilder today. We'll classify him as the second hottest guy in this podcast studio. So let's begin.
That's quite an introduction. Thank you so much. I'll take that. You kind of hyped me up there a little too much, but thank you. So we have part 2 today. Hopefully we'll dive deeper and, give people a different insights into our lives. And I'll try to educate as much as we can. And the first part of the podcast, I don't know if they've seen it yet, but
they will probably have seen it when
this
great.
Is out. It was great. I think it's because of the chemistry. It's the conversation just flows very smoothly between, me and you. So this podcast is going to be interesting. So.
Yeah, it's very good. And for you guys who you don't know, actually behind the camera, he's also a very nice guy and he's humble. And what I really like is that me and him, we're real people. Like me and him are never fake. Like if he doesn't like something, he'll tell me I don't like it. And if I don't like something, I'll tell him I don't like it. And if he likes it, we'll both say it. We're like very, very real people. And we're just having a talk here. So it's not like here the paper. It was from a podcast before, but I'm not using it. And even everything is from my mind. So I'm just having like real conversation in front of a camera. And he's a very nice guy. I suggest you try training with him. I think he will be a very good trainer. To get a trainer who's second on WBF competition in his first ever competition, it's something very, very nice.
Thank you so much, Yahya. It means a lot. Thank you.
So did you ever expect you'll get second first competition?
All right. So my expectations going into the show was pretty much zero. I had no expectations. It was just something almost out of impulse because, as I said in the previous podcast, I never had the aspirations to compete or become a serious bodybuilder. I just wanted to lift to not be skinny. That's all it was. Lift to just gain a little bit of weight and look good, feel more confident. But then, the routine got very repetitive and I was like, I need to switch it up. So this is when I, made the decision of doing the show. And, I didn't expect getting second place, but when I got second place, it definitely did feel like, I accomplished something that was much greater than what I intended in the beginning. So, I didn't expect it, but at the same time, I now have a drive to go for first place because, second place.
I just watched the last competition and there were very nice competitors. Did you see the last one? Yesterday or today, I think.
Yep.
You saw it?
Yep.
It's very nice. So do you know Imad, I think. Imad Zainabi. Imad's big.
Yes.
You know him?
Yes.
You've met him personally?
Yeah.
Is he a good guy?
Very nice guy.
Really?
Yes.
I met him at Desert Barbell.
Very nice guy.
He was
very humble.
very nice also. So, when is your future plan of competing?
Okay, so as of the moment, I'm going to take it very slow, because competition is a thing you have to go into with the right headspace. Competing is not a joke. It requires a lot of sacrifice. You have to pretty much, a couple months before the show, switch off your social life, switch off, your relationships, switch off any sort of...
You have to take it that serious, yeah?
Switch off any sort of fun. And all you have to do is train, eat, sleep, repeat. So it requires a lot of sacrifice and you have to be in the right headspace. It has to be something you really, really, really want to do. You can't just go into the competition of, let me try this. This is how I went into it the first time. And it wasn't, the correct mindset to go into a competition. But second time around, if I'm going to compete again, I'm going to make sure that, I'm absolutely focused on winning the show. I'm not going to treat it like a side hustle. No, I'm going to treat it like I'm going for first place and I'm not backing down for anything less. And me personally, I know my potential. I know my physique. I know how I can, stand next to these guys on stage. And I feel like if I give it my best and I give it my all and I do an actual prep, no 7 week,
Like 3 months bulk, 3 months
Yeah.
cutting.
exactly like an actual prep.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure I can be very, very, very competitive on stage. And there's no doubt in my mind I can get first place. The only thing, it just requires everything you've got. So I have to make sure I don't have any other, things on the side that I'm committed to, so I can put all my attention and focus in one area. Have you seen this picture where it shows like a ball, okay? And then it shows like your attention, and there's like 7 arrows in different direction. And then there's another ball, and it shows like 1 arrow in one direction. Have you seen that picture?
Honestly, no, but I've seen another thing.
I'll show it to you.
It's like success. Your plan is like this.
Yeah,
God's plan is like this.
exactly.
Yes.
So basically it shows that all we have is energy. So we have to be very careful where we place that energy. So if you want to be a basketball player and a cricket player and a great cook and a great husband and have a good network and be rich, the thing is, yes, these are all beneficial to you, but your attention is everywhere. So your energy can't be diverted into one direction. It's like you're giving 10% here, 10% there, 10% there. And you can't really utilize your energy and your focus into excelling in one direction. Now, there is a counter argument to this. Have you heard of the saying, jack of all trades, master of none?
Yeah, I've heard that.
I personally disagree of this. Who made the saying? Who said jack of all trades, master of none? Do you know who said that?
No, honestly.
I don't too, but how I see it is jack of all trades, master of life.
But I think you can always do the middle of it. Like, for example, you can also be like a wnbf competitor and also be having 5 businesses and also be successful with them. Right?
So I actually disagree with that. So as I said, there is a balance for sure, but if you want to succeed in something, if you have a goal, if you have a purpose, if there's something particular that you want to achieve, it's very hard to manage 5 businesses and then be a wnbf competitor. In my point of view, if you're going down the career path of competing, your business will have to struggle for a bit. Let's be honest. So that's when I said, like, jack of all trades, master of life. The more you know, the more you know. The more knowledge you have, the better. But at the same time, not all knowledge is power. Knowledge is only power if it's diverted in the right direction. If you have all this knowledge, like, let me give you an example. If you went to 4, 5, 6 years to university to study engineering, then after your engineering course, you started working in a supermarket. Do you think all that knowledge you accumulated in the 6 years is benefiting you? No. So that's what I say. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only power if it's diverted and directed into the correct direction. And that's when you can actually utilize your knowledge. So managing 5 businesses and being a wnbf competitor is, it's a lot. And
did you ever want to start a business?
Absolutely. I already have a business, as I said in the last podcast, which is online coaching and
How many
personal
people
training.
do you have with you?
So right now, it's on and off. I can't give you a specific number.
Okay.
But for example, when it's face-to-face, it ranges. Sometimes I'll have like up to 3-4 sessions a day. Sometimes, for example, now summer, it's very quiet. A lot of my clients travel, so it's much less. So I can't give you a specific number. But it's something I enjoy for sure. It's something that, when I coach someone or I train someone, like, I personally feel satisfied because I know that I'm not just here for the money. I'm not just here to pass
you're
time.
a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm not just here to pass time or, get a quick pay. I'm here to actually benefit this guy in the long term. There's instances where people ask me for coaching, but I couldn't help them because it wasn't my area of expertise.
Do you have examples?
Yeah, so for example, I don't train women personally because I myself am not a woman, and I know that there are much better female coaches out there that can help women. So me personally, I just stick to my domain. I stick to what I'm knowledgeable in, which is mostly losing fat and gaining muscle. So that's why I don't train women. Now, obviously, this is just my own personal preference. I just feel like this is not my area of expertise. You know what I mean? I feel like there is women coaches out there that can do a million time job better than me. So that's just a quick example. Yeah.
So did you ever think of like being this millionaire in the future?
Being a millionaire.
Yeah.
That's a very good question, Yahya.
It can be Ali Diab, self-made millionaire. I think it would be nice.
I think that would be a nice title.
Yeah.
But here's how I look at it, because if I think about the $1 million, that's the output. That's something that I can't necessarily control. What I can control is the input. So if I put all my focus on the $1 million or the 6 packs or the whatever it is, if I just put my focus on the end goal always, it's going to take away from the input. Because to get to $1 million, there's probably a million different things you have to do. There's probably 3 or 4 years behind the scenes where you have to just work on yourself before even starting to work on your business. So it's a whole process. So the way I look at it is, what can I control in my day-to-day life? What input do I have control over? I don't have control over making $1 million, but I have control over waking early in the morning. I have control over what foods I put into my mouth. I have control over what content I consume. These are all things I control. So when I control my inputs and I divert that into a specific outcome through, diligent planning, then the $1 million can actually be achievable. But if I'm sitting down and I'm like, I want to be a millionaire, Ali Diab, the self-made millionaire, the likelihood of that happening is not very high because there is no input to back it up. So the way I look at it is focus, take it day by day, focus on what can I do today. It goes down to as simple as making your bed in the morning. Many people don't agree with that, but
It's
why I
like
think
discipline.
Yeah, you know why I actually really think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Because most people are lacking discipline in their life. Most people are lacking discipline at, when it comes to like minor things like communication with their family, or major things like showing up to work on time. Like most people don't have, basic sense of discipline. So, making your bed in the morning, yes, it does seem like it doesn't matter and it's something so small, but it just allows you to build trust with yourself. Because over time, when you build trust with yourself, you acquire discipline. You can trust yourself. You can trust your judgments. You know that I'm going to make my bed every day for the next year. And you're going to do that because you trust your capabilities. This is how you slowly start to build discipline. So when you slowly start to build discipline, this can, maneuver into many domains of life. So making your bed in the morning is a perfect thing. It's all about just input. Just focus on the small things, the small wins, the small actions. You know what I mean? The things you can control, the foods you put in your mouth, the time you go to bed, the time you spend on social media. All of these things you have control over. So focus on what you have control over. And I promise you, if you're conscious about it and you always make the right move on the chessboard regardless, you will slowly start to see your life improve. So, yeah.
So that's our goal?
Being a millionaire, I can't say that is something I deeply desire, because my version of success is a little bit different. For sure, I want to be rich. I'm not saying that I don't want to be rich, but my version of success is a little different than, the generation we're in right now. My version of success is different to your version of success. What's
your ideal life?
I'm just happy, bro. I'm just happy to be here. Even us having this conversation right now, I enjoy these things. For me, this is, a version of success. I'm sitting with my friend. I'm living in Dubai. I'm healthy. We're having a conversation. We're talking about, life. For me, this is, just happiness, to be honest. It doesn't have to be very materialistic. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the materialistic things in life. But my version of success is kind of different. My version of success is mostly is conquering yourself. You know what I mean? Because if you conquer yourself and if you conquer your mind you'll start to look at things very differently. You'll no longer chase the $1 million. You'll no longer chase the materialistic things in life. You'll start being at peace with what you already have. You'll start being grateful for what you already have. And that, that place of gratefulness will allow you to push even more because you're more aware of the things you have. You're more grateful. So that position will allow you to push much more than if you're just thinking about, oh, I want to make $1 million. Oh, I want to get this car. I want to secure this job. I want to become friends with that guy. These are all things that happen when a person is not in control of his mind and is not in a state of gratefulness. It's not in a state of actually I'm doing good in life. Because sometimes you can even compare yourselves to people who have it much worse, and that kind of put things in perspective. You know what I mean?
I remember my grandpa was telling me, look at someone who's better and look up to them.
Yeah.
And look for someone who's worse and appreciate your life.
Exactly. There's a position for it. Yes, sometimes you do need to look at people who are better for inspiration and motivation. But at the same time, you can get trapped in this endless cycle, right? You can always look for who's better, and you don't realize how far you've come. You don't realize, the blessings that, Allah gave you. So there is a balance. Yes, be determined, be ambitious, but at the same time, be very grateful because you're still blessed. The simple fact that we're alive and we're healthy, these are things everyone takes for granted. Some people wake up in a hospital and they don't have the basic ability to just, move around or go out with their friends or, that's all they're thinking about. So when you look at life through that perspective, then you're like, you know what? I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing pretty well. So yeah, always be grateful, always thank God, always say Alhamdulillah. And yes, be ambitious, but at the same time, be grateful for what you have and know that, yes, you do have to still work very hard. But if you're in a state of, gratefulness, that process will become much more enjoyable. Now you'll start to go through life with intention, with intentionality. You'll start to put goals that are aligned with your principles and values. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a balance. Yes, look at people who are better than you for motivation, but always be humbled because what God gave you, He can also take away. So always be humbled in the position you're in.
So this year you're gonna be in Dubai Muscle Show?
Inshallah, absolutely.
Well, we'll go together, yeah?
No worries, brother.
Yeah. So, have ever anyone contacted you to do other podcasts? Or was I the first person?
No, there's a podcast back in 2020 or 2021.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you about their name. I have to search it up. But there was a podcast back in the day, and they got a couple of Dubai TikTokers at the time. I think if I show you it, you'll know. But at the time, I declined because I had so much going on, and it wasn't really a priority. But obviously, this is the best first experience at a podcast. Obviously, you've been a very good host. I have to say, guys, if you're watching Yahya, just remember where he's at right now, because I'm sure this guy is going to take it very far. And then maybe it might take 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, but he's going to look back at these podcasts and he's going to see how far he came, because this guy is very hardworking. He's very humble. He's very kind. And, he gave me a very good opportunity to express my opinions, express my thoughts, and try to educate you guys. So thank you, Yahya, again. You're a great host, and
thank you.
I wish you the best.
So when did you get your mustache? How long has it been?
When did I?
Because I don't get like.
I bought it actually in a sales store back in 2022.
No, I'm actually serious. This is real, yeah?
It is real, of course, brother.
Like when did it grow?
I could always grow a mustache, but I used to always shave it off.
Oh, okay.
But I was just like, recently, let me try something new. You know what I mean? Let's keep it for another month or two, and then I'm gonna probably shave it.
You remove it?
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's good.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just.
But you can't get a beard and.
From the sides, not yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
Some people until like they're 30 and then they start growing beard, like beard heavy.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope I'm one of those guys. Late bloomers, huh?
Like some people, like they still, like I have a bit, but like Even if I leave it, it
Yeah.
won't be like,
Yeah.
it won't be like Chris Hemsworth or something.
Yeah.
So your school, so you finished high school, right? But you're not in college, right?
I went to college.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you study?
So I went to school in Winchester School in Jabal Ali. And then in grade 8, I shifted to grade 9. Actually, I shifted to the other branch, which was in Udmetha. I did my IGCSEs there, and then I went to foundation year in Murdoch University. You know foundation year?
No.
It's like 1 year before uni. So basically, in the British system, for you to go to first year, you have to finish grade 12.
And then 13 is the foundation, yeah?
Because it's O level, AS level, then A level. So I did only O level, which is grade 11. So for me to go to uni, I had to do either AS level or I had to do foundation. So I chose foundation. So I did foundation in Murdoch University for a year in 2018. And then I got accepted in Heriot Watt here in Dubai. And I did business management, which, obviously wasn't my passion. It wasn't something like I want to study business management, but it was kind of like, my parents wanted me to go to uni at the time.
So you have a certificate.
I didn't graduate. So I
Oh.
did the first 2 years and then I dropped off.
So you're not going to continue it.
I mean, bro, to be honest, it's always there. There's a possibility because I only have a year left.
So even if you want to, you just go a year and then finish?
I have a year left, a year and a half left. So
Okay.
it's always there, you know what I mean? But at the moment, I feel like there's much better opportunities. And, the education system is very outdated with how fast the world is moving and how fast, the internet is progressing.
Me personally, I might say something that I don't know if I'm going to go to jail for.
Be careful there, bro.
Okay, let me not say it better. But I'm not going to continue uni. Even high school, I'm going to take it without even taking it, not studying anything.
Did you have that conversation with your parents?
Yeah, it's all good. It's not going to be any
Support?
problem. My mom doesn't mind, by the way. Like, she knows that I'm not,
Okay, let me ask you a question.
yeah.
Do you have aspirations to be either a lawyer, doctor?
No,
or
nothing.
You don't have any aspirations. So in that area you're in right now, my piece of advice would be, you can kind of focus on something else because you're in your prime age of energy and time. So you have pretty much unlimited time to focus on whatever it is or experience stuff that you wouldn't have been able to experience if you were in uni. So yeah, that's my point of view. Don't tell your mom so she doesn't get angry with me.
No, actually, she agrees with me. She says, yeah, like with your goals, you don't need to go to uni or school.
Yeah.
Even I'm going to school just for the military problems.
Yeah.
And then after the military thing, I'm going to renew the residency.
Yeah.
Then after that, I'm going to go to Canada to immigrate. So I won't need uni for something. So I suggest you something, Try getting more than one passport, especially in this time.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't want to immigrate, you can. I have contacts with people. If you want to buy a passport, I can connect you to them. Well, it's expensive. It's like $100,000 to buy a passport, and then you have like 2, 3, 4. Like I personally, I want to have 20 passports, guys. I'm actually serious. I want to have like 20 passports. It would be like a collection, So like, let's say there's a problem in the world with, like in Kuwait, you saw their problems with the Egyptian people. They're getting kicked off. Okay, there's a problem there. So let's say there's a problem. Egyptians can't come to Dubai. Okay, well, I'm Dominican. Dominican can't come to Dubai. Okay, well, I'm Portuguese. It's like cheating, It's not like cheating, but it's real passports. It gives you more like availability to like be less controllable, I think it's not even logic for like normal people. Like people who work like 9 to 5 job. But my life is like I have different plans in the future. I know some people that are worth $100 million. They're starting their own restaurant. soon. I'll go there. I'll help them. I'm not flexing, but I'm actually serious. So, and they have penthouses. They have these stuff. And when I have connections to these people, I'm planning to do something with it. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. Yeah. So let's talk about you. So your high school, was it good or is it bad experience?
My high school experience was very...
Because my brother went to Winchester, by the way, in Udmata. For like 3 months he left.
My high school experience was very interesting, to say the least. I did have the best of both worlds, for sure. I had very good times, and I had some of my hardest times. So I can't say good or bad, but all I can say is I'm grateful for the experience, because it was a big factor of shaping, my personality. So yeah, you take the good with the bad, as Andrew, I think, says, there's no light without dark, right? So yeah, absolutely, there was good and bad, so I can't say one thing.
But like, what did you learn from it?
There's many lessons I've learned from high school. Looking back now, there's 3 main important lessons I've learned. Number 1 is, if you're young, if you're in high school right now and you're watching this, my piece of advice would be to be very, very careful with who you surround yourself with, and with who you put your energy and time into, because you are the sum of the 5 people you're around, and I absolutely agree with that. And when you're in high school, you're in a very critical stage of your life where your personality is literally being formed. So the average of the 5 people you're spending time with in high school has a massive impact on your personality long term. So choose those people very carefully. Make sure they're aligned with your principles and morals, and stick with that group, because they will push you to be better. On the other hand, if you stick to people who are not aligned with your principles and morals, you can get dragged down, and it can form, some sort of, character.
Did you have a lot of friends in high school?
A lot of friends. Okay, so towards grade 11, grade 10, that's when I was kind of like a popular guy at school, because at that time I was, a couple of months into lifting.
Did the girls notice and these stuff?
Brother, to be honest, that was never my focus. But my high school was very small, so we were only like 2 classrooms or 3 classrooms.
That was in Manchester.
Yeah, so in Udmata, yeah, so it was a very small classroom. So we all kind of knew each other, you know what I mean?
Did girls notice still?
But to be honest, we didn't have attractive girls in my high school. But either way, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like a big high school. So
you know what I noticed? I know a guy, he's a gymnasian. His name is Satyam. He's an Indian guy. He's very muscular. He looks good. He's not like an ugly guy. I always see him. All the people that compliment him are boys. I once went to him, I was like, Satyam, no girls are complimenting you. He's like, no man, you don't need to chase girls. I'm not like you. He's like telling me that. But he's a nice guy. So I thought that's actually like more boys will compliment you than girls. And that's like you went to the beach and like you go and then like maybe some girls will notice it. But did you attract girls after you started being 6-pack guy?
To be completely honest with you, Yahya, that was never my focus. I never started working out to attract girls, or maybe for a small while I did it to just better my self-image in front of people. But it was never specifically to, I want to get girls, let me get a good physique. So it wasn't like that for me. Obviously my reasons are very different.
So will you ever get kids in the future? Like maybe like I know this is like a very long way, but like do you ever want to get kids?
Well, that's a very deep question. Absolutely. 100%.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know the numbers? Like when I get 2, 3, 4?
I never deeply thought about it, but I know for sure I want kids. That's 100%.
So do you have any brothers and sisters or siblings?
Yeah, I have 2 younger brothers. We talked about.
So it's 3 boys.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we said it last time. Yeah. Okay. So do you ever invest like in stocks, crypto, or these stuff?
Right now, I'm not in the world of investing because I'm in a position where I can, focus more on education rather than investing. I feel like to be at a point of investing, you have to, number one, have a lot of capital saved up, in my opinion, like at least $100,000 to even
I
start
disagree.
about investing. That's my own personal opinion,
Okay.
but I feel like in the beginning, like you investing, $2,000-3,000 is not gonna be beneficial unless it's like a crypto pump,
Yeah.
and I don't really believe in crypto. So yeah, in my opinion, it's not the time for me to invest right now at this moment. But of course, savings is different. There is a portion that goes to savings every day, but in terms of buying stocks, not yet. And it
What
is
about
a world.
gold?
Yeah, investing in general, stocks, gold, it's not something I'm focused in right now.
But I was talking with someone, the guy that I told you has a penthouse. So he was telling me one of his friends made $100,000 in less than 5 hours from crypto. He's a genius. He was telling me. Even he was like shocked. He didn't expect it, and that guy's like worth $100 million. So even someone like him is shocked from it. So I think if you know good people that like can actually know the market, they can actually help you.
I agree, 100%.
So do you know anyone that made money from crypto or something?
I know a bunch of people that made money
Really?
from crypto. Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice.
But yeah, as I said, right now I'm not focused. It is something I'm gonna start educating myself more in the future. But at this current point, it's not my priority. Don't get it wrong. Like there is, of course, savings, but in terms of just investing and growing your portfolio and long-term investing strategy, I didn't get into that yet. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it very, 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 very
But
soon.
you have to make sure you educate yourself properly.
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
what I'm
not a
telling you.
joke.
Like I know very good people about this.
And I think it's a very long-term strategy. You shouldn't go into investing as, this is why I'm against crypto, because it's kind of like gambling, Most people put their money in to catch a pump. It's kind of like gambling. So the way I look at investing is more of a long-term strategy. I'm talking about 10, 15, 20 years. That's how I see it should be done. But I think many people can disagree with me. And yeah, that's kind of my point of view of investing and how you can go about it the smart way, the safe way, and kind of have that sense of security of, you have money that's compounding over time rather than putting your life savings and just hoping something happens. So
Do
that's
you
my
think
point of view.
we should do part 3?
Absolutely.
Okay. Guys, comment down below if we should do a part 3. And if this reaches like, let's say 1,000 likes, if this reaches 1,000 likes, we'll do part 3.
Sounds good with me.
What do you think we should talk about? I'll do my part.
Maybe we can ask the audience, We can
Okay,
ask
yeah,
the
that would
audience
be
for
very
part
good
three.
also.
Yeah.
So as you said, your parents were happy with the first episode. Will they watch the second one?
Yeah,
You'll show them?
of course.
Okay, that's good. So who do you think should... Guys, we're filming this before the 2024 elections. In case you're not... You see it after the elections. Would you think you vote for Trump if you're an American citizen? Would you vote for Trump?
No comment.
You don't want to say?
No comment.
Okay. So, what are your future goals? Will you do wnbf again? And when will it be if you're doing it?
Let me ask you, Yahya, what do you think? Do you think I should do wnbf again? Let me hear your point of view.
I think you should do 2026 WMF. But take it as, for example, you do 6 months bulk, 6 months cut, for example, and see like where are you now. And then maybe if it's good, wait another year, again do the same thing, then come shredded like.
So you think I should do it?
Yeah, but I don't think you should do 2025. I think if you like take a whole year, as I said, and you do 2026, I think you'll do a good job.
That's a nice perspective.
But will you do with the same coach?
Let's see.
Am I allowed to say who's your coach?
I mean, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, yeah, I won't say it, but we're gonna film with his coach, or not we, I think me. I'm gonna film with his coach September 5. So yeah, guys, you should stay tuned. His coach is, do you think he's a good coach?
He's not my coach.
Now, but like when he trained you for it.
I mean, I have nothing negative to say about the guy. I think he's very knowledgeable. And in terms of nutrition and supplementations, very, very, very knowledgeable guy.
Nice. So, are you happy Sibam will be in this 2023 Dubai Muscle Show?
It's gonna be a good change up because usually we're used to seeing the same people over and over again.
And most of them, they're like old. Like Sibam is like the 20 guy.
Yeah.
Most people that come, like I've seen Kai Green is like 40 something.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, these people like Kai Green, they have been coming to Dubai Muscle Show since 2016 every single year. So there's not really much excitement around these people. But Sibam is the first time he makes an appearance in Dubai.
You will take picture with him?
Yeah, if I get the chance, why not?
Yeah, I was talking with him actually on Instagram. I was telling him, like, I want to get Sibam on the podcast. Like, I really wish I can. But I'll ask him in Dubai Muscle Show. If he comes, will you stay and watch behind the scenes?
Sure.
It'll be a good surprise, yeah?
Absolutely.
And also, I wish I could get, like, Andrew Tate on the podcast. It would be also a good one. I actually sent to him on his Instagram. A lot of people liked it as a comment. Like, I should do it to them. I think it would be a very good choice. So now you're following what diet? Anything or like?
All right. So at the moment, I'm not following a specific diet. I'm only focusing on eating clean whole foods. That's my main goal. Just eat clean whole foods. In terms of dieting, like anything specific, not really, because at this point of time, I'm trying to gain as much weight as possible, and I'm trying to gain it as effectively as possible. I don't want to put much fat on.
Am I allowed to ask what's your body weight?
Absolutely, brother.
Oh, so what's your body weight now?
So right now, at the moment, I'm around 87 kgs.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what was your contest weight? Like
78.
78. Were you like
78.
that face and these stuff?
Yeah, I was pretty lean, but I could have even got leaner. I could
Really?
have got down to 75, yeah.
That's nice.
Because I did only a 7-week prep, so I still had much more weight to lose. I was still lean, but I wasn't, shredded to the bone, as they say. So next time I compete, it's going to be a very long prep, much longer prep than 7 weeks. And I'm going to make sure that I come in absolutely peeled. That's the goal.
Did anyone want you to again compete in 2024 and these stuff? Did anyone like send you, hey, Ali, you should do another wnbf competition?
Everyone, because after the competition 2021, I kind of disappeared. So people were like expecting me to compete the year after and the year after that. And I kind of took a long break. So a lot of people were wondering where I'm taking this competing journey. But I always said I'm not a competitor. I'm not a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
This is not something like I'm passionate about. It's more of like a hobby. It's more of like an experience I want to gain. So when I did the first show, I think people got the wrong perspective of
like you're going to be competing
this guy's
and
a
then
bodybuilder
Olympia,
and he's going to go to the Olympia. And I think that's not the case, really. I just did it for the experience. I did it to switch things up. And I'm very glad I did it. Would I do it again? Probably. But it's not like something that I am, very passionate about and very ambitious. Like, I want to compete and I want to reach the Olympia and I want to have all these medals. Not really. I just want to do it for the fun of it. And I feel like competing kind of pushes you a little bit. It kind of gives you a deadline for you to improve. Because, as you know, lifting, when there's no deadline, like you're not competing for anything, you can take it easy on yourself.
and you can enjoy it more.
You can miss a workout, you can do this. But when you have a deadline, like you're competing on this date, this hour, it like forces you outside of your comfort zone because now you can't cheat yourself. Because if you cheat yourself on that day on stage, people will see. So I feel like the competition holds you accountable for like your training, your sleeping, and your nutrition. And that's why I like the idea of competing, because you can't get away with skipping a workout. You can't get away with missing a meal. Yes, you can do that, but it's gonna show on stage. It's
But
a good journey.
on WMBF, you weren't allowed to take diuretics or these stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's against the.
You got tested?
You get a lie detector test, and
Really?
the top three, yeah. And the top three of each class in WNBF get a urine analysis. So even though a person might win,
So you got a urine analysis?
no, for me, I think it wasn't for teens at the time. So I'm not sure how it works, but I think back then it was the top one. Now it's the top three. But I know that they do urine analysis for the people who win, And based on that, they can find out, if there is any substances used during the prep, and you can either get disqualified or the award moves on to the next person. So that's, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think that's how the process of WNBF works. And yeah.
Did you win any cash prizes?
And no, my category, there were no cash prizes.
Even if you got first?
Yeah, there were no cash prizes.
I think I saw like there's people now. I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, that was
10,000.
That was just for the pro show.
Okay.
Like bodybuilding, physique, and it was bodybuilding and physique.
I think 10,000 is too less, bro.
And by the way, that 10,000 is for the first place of the pro show.
Okay.
One guy. You know what I mean?
But the second got like 5,000, third got like 1,000. But I think that's not even a lot. Like,
yeah, that's why if you're going into bodybuilding with the purpose of, I want to make money,
I think you can, but top 1%.
You're going to be massively disappointed if you're into the sport for making money, to be honest.
So will you do like an online coaching company and these stuff? Or that's not
Absolutely, my guy. 100%.
You will register it?
100%.
If you need help, I can get you someone that can help you.
Thank you.
Also with insurance, I know someone with very, very premium prices. They will give it to you.
Thank you, man.
Let me know.
Sure.
Will you ever do it soon? Like next year?
Yeah. Very soon. I'll let you know as soon as
So
something launches.
you have, as we speak now, 100,000 followers on TikTok.
Absolutely, yes.
So what message will you give to them?
To the 100,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since I posted, so...
Do they still remember you, do you think?
I don't even know if they still remember me. But yeah, it was a nice little community going on back in the day, because I used to post very different kind of content than most fitness influencers. Like, I don't know if you've seen my content.
I've seen
past.
it.
It was more like a comedic skit.
Yeah, you've seen like people who are heartbroken, people who are muscular, people who are skinny, nerds at the gym.
Yeah, it was it had a comedic twist to it.
But I think these things get a lot of shares, especially these
Yeah, I mean, I went viral many times because of...
I've seen a video who've got 2 million views.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you're famous.
Not really.
Did anyone ever, like when you're walking on the street, take pictures of you?
In Dubai, yes. Many times.
Hey, yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yes, it happened. It's crazy, I know, because...
Did you expect it?
Never.
Nice.
But back in 2020, it started happening because of TikTok. It was all because of TikTok. Recently, not as much because I haven't stopped posting. But back then, it was kind of crazy because, the TikTok algorithm, the way it works is it like goes locally first. After it goes local, then it goes worldwide. So I was kind of the only guy who was posting fitness content back in the day. So everyone in Dubai who was following fitness would see that type of content. So, yeah.
So, recently, did anyone take picture? Like the last month, the last 2 months, 3 months?
No.
So you're not like that celebrity now?
No, of course. But I was never that celebrity. Maybe one day, but I was never that kind of...
So did anyone ever from like the news want to talk with you?
The news?
Like something like BBC, CNN?
No.
Hey, you want to do...
No.
Will you accept?
No. I don't know. It's just a weird situation I've never thought about, but I'm thinking at the same time, why would they want to?
No, like if you reach that famous, like news articles talk about Ali Diab.
I never really thought about it, to be honest, but let's see. When we reach that position, I think we'll have enough time to make a decision.
Okay. When you reach that decision, what will you do with that name? Will you do something like another business?
My focus right now and my focus for the future is more of connecting and building a community of like-minded individuals. I want to build a community where people are aligned with my principles and values. For example, people that, they're Muslims and they have strong iman. At the same time, there are people that are trying to better themselves in terms of fitness. At the same time, there are people who are focusing on their finances. You know what I mean? People who are aligned with my principles and values. That's what I want to do in terms of community. I want to gather these people and, nurture this community and grow this community, because I feel like there is a gap, and there are many people who are just like us, they're trying to better themselves and they're trying to get better, but they don't have the support system around them. So I feel like if I'm able to gather these
Will you ever
people,
like start your own gym?
no,
That's our plan.
never. Many people told me about this, but let me explain something to Yahya. Starting a gym is one of the least profitable businesses you can do.
I think like first 2 years is like zero.
Not first 2 years, brother. It takes much longer. It takes 5-6 years to break even.
I know a gym that they said they don't even buy the equipment, they rent it. That's how like expensive it costs.
Yeah, because see, the thing is with starting a gym, you don't realize the amount of expenses there are. Number one, you have expenses for rent. Number two, you have expenses for electricity. Number three, you have expenses for staff, payroll. You have expenses for equipment. It's a lot of startup capital that you need to invest. And number two, the price that you're selling your membership,
It's like
let's say it's what, $100?
Yeah.
$150. So even to break even, you'll have to put in years and years and years of effort and work of your time. So of course, some people, they want to do this. It's their goal and it's something they're passionate about. 100% go for it. But for me personally, I just don't see myself as starting a gym.
I think if you're like on the news articles, people will want to come to you to see.
Let's see. Yeah, I like that you're just thinking ahead. You're thinking ahead of the version of me in the future. I really like that. So let's see. You never know, because we always change our minds. We're still growing. Our ideas, our thoughts are always changing. So you never know. Maybe in 2-3 years, my idea of starting a gym is completely different. But let's see.
But do you think if you start it, you need to be 100% serious about it, right?
Of course, I think you have to be 100% serious about any business, not just the gym. The gym, yes, requires much more effort. But in any other business, if you're not going into it with 100% dedication and 100% conviction that I am going to make this work and there is no other option, you're not going to make it, in my opinion. You have to go into starting a business with literally pouring everything you have into it. Because many people talk about side hustles, and I actually completely disagree with it. Because side hustle is like something like, I'll just put in a bit of time when I'm free.
You want to take something one would.
Yeah, especially if you want to succeed in like the business field, brother. Do you know how hard the competition is? I'm not being pessimistic, but you have to be able to put in every minute and every hour of your day for the purpose of, I want to make this work 100% and I don't have any second options. You know the saying of burn the bridges?
No, I have no idea.
So burn the bridges basically is you put yourself in a position where there's no retreat. You can't step back.
Oh, it's like one way or I'm gonna die.
Exactly. Like for example, let me give you just a random example. You have $2,000 in your bank account and you don't know what to do. So you put in a plan and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna book a ticket to Thailand. And whatever happens. I'm going to try to make it work in Thailand. So you use your last $2,000. So even though it doesn't work out, you can't go back. You're stuck in Thailand. So the only option is to make it work in Thailand. You know what I mean? This is what burn the bridges mean. Now, I don't completely agree with it. Obviously, you have to be logical. Yeah. But you have to have a sense of this has to work, a sense of conviction.
Was it that way that you did when you did your WNBF?
No.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. As I told you, the wnbf thing, it wasn't a deliberate choice I made. You know what I mean? It was kind of like a 50-50 thing that I wasn't sure about.
I might do it, I will. It depends.
Yeah, should I do it? Should I not? It wasn't, I didn't have full conviction that this is something I want to do and I want to get first place. That's why I told you earlier in this podcast that if I do the wnbf competition again, this time I'll make sure to put myself in the correct headspace, and I'm absolutely sure and there's no doubt in my mind that I can get first place.
So on the show day, did you have like a fast food or was it like rice and like on your WNBF competition day? What did you have?
WNBF competition day. Okay, so I don't know if anyone told you about the competing process before.
I have no idea.
So how I did it was 2 days before, I slowly started introducing carbs into my diet. So I'd have like higher carbs. And then one day before the show, I drank so much water. So much water. I'm talking about 6-7 liters of water. And the reason we do that is because when you drink so much water, then the day after you'll start flushing all the water, even the excess water that you may have, you'll start to flush everything. So on show, you look much leaner. So this is the whole point of like water loading. You drink a lot of water, then you flush out all the excess water, so you look much leaner on stage. So yeah, I drank a lot of water one day before, and then I started flushing out. And then the show day, I had very little food until the pump up process where I ate, I think, gummy bears and salt just to look pumped and dry. And
did you start feeling like weak the last 2-3 weeks of the competition? You were like
yeah,
lifting?
for sure. The last 2 weeks I've lost quite a bit of strength, and because me personally, I told you about this before, I didn't do it the proper way. I did kind of a crash diet. I know crash dieting is the worst thing you can possibly do. So the last 3 weeks, I still had a lot of weight to lose. So it was like just calories dropped straight away. Cardio increased straight away. You know, so it wasn't a very enjoyable process. But yeah, the last 2 weeks were definitely very difficult.
Would you recommend anyone to compete?
Here's what I would say about competing. If you have the desire to compete, if this
you
is
have the discipline.
Exactly. If this is something you actually want to do, if this is something you're passionate about, and you're ready to give it everything you've got, no side hustle sort of thing, no, everything you've got, 100% go for it. It's an experience that you'll remember. It's going to teach you a lot about yourself. It's going to test your discipline a lot. It's going to test your patience. And it's just sheer dedication at that point. Because anyone that wins a competition, yes, it's very enjoyable, but the suffering they had to go through to get to the stage of, winning is a process that no one looks at.
Do you think sauna and steam are good? Did you ever do it?
Yeah, of course I've done sauna before, and I can't say it's bad because they have massive health benefits. Obviously in terms of body temperature, the sauna increases your body temperature and it detoxifies your body. So it gets rid of a lot of, waste. So of course it's amazing, but is it necessary? I don't think so. But it's something you can add on to your routine. If you have time, if you have the capabilities, go for it, 100%. I'm not against that.
So what last message would you give to the viewers?
We're already over?
What?
It's
already
the last
over?
message?
I think we have 10 minutes.
Oh, we're going to wrap it up now?
No, you can say few last messages. You don't need to say one, it's fine.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure.
Nothing in mind?
Yeah, let's leave it to the end.
Okay, no problem. So, Dubai Muscle Show. Have you ever thought of competing in Dubai Muscle Show?
In
Because
Dubai
there's
Muscle
people
Show,
competing there.
Not really, because number one, Dubai Muscle Show is not a natural show.
But some people do it natural.
Some people do it
It's like
natural.
annoying, you don't know if you're someone in front
Exactly.
of you.
It's like taking a Toyota to a Ferrari race. Why would I do that? I want to race with other Toyotas. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think I wouldn't place myself in a position where I know I'm in a massive disadvantage. I'd rather put myself in a scenario where it's, I have the best possible favor in my favor.
But did you ever see someone and thought they're not natty?
No, to be honest,
And
for me, it's
WWF.
very controversial because, when somebody says someone's not natural, and most people that talk about someone not being natural, for me, I look at it from a different perspective because I've been lifting for a very long time.
How
so
long?
I kind of
5
know
years, yeah?
6 years now, I think.
Oh, 6. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're at 6 years now. So it's been a while. So
Show us the whole biceps.
Do I really have to?
Okay, your choice if you want. Oh, that's very nice. Can we exchange? You take my biceps.
I'll pass. I'll pass on that over, bro.
Okay.
You'll get there though.
So, did you ever get accused of steroids? I am
100%.
sure you're natty, but
100%.
guys, if you see him like face to face, you'll know that he's natty.
Yeah.
But did you ever get accused?
Absolutely,
Did
bro.
you get pissed? Like why?
No, pissed? No, because if somebody accuses me of steroids, like, bro, let's be honest, that's a massive compliment. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. If someone thinks you're on steroids, it's like, do you really think I'm that good that I take steroids? Like, thank you. Like, I'll take that as a compliment.
So it
but
doesn't like you go and get angry.
why would I get angry? They're saying your physique is so good that there's no way you could have done it naturally.
Okay.
So it's like the best compliment you can achieve as a natural. In my opinion, if you don't get that compliment as a natural, it means that you're not that impressive. No offense.
Okay.
But yeah, for me, if I get it a lot and I take it as a compliment. But most people that know me, most people that are friends with me in real life, most people that train with me, they know I'm natural. Like, it's nothing crazy, bro. Like, yes, I have big arms and shoulders, but if you compare that to my chest, for example, it's pretty average. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what do you bench?
Right now, I don't bench, but I used to bench when I was younger, and I used to take it so seriously. Like, I used to
What's
love
the heaviest
benching.
you've done?
The heaviest I've done, I think, was 135 kgs at 17.
1 rep?
1 rep. I think it's on my Instagram.
Yeah.
I think we can put it on the
Really?
screen.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll add it.
Yeah,
135 at 17 is good.
135 kgs. It was crazy.
As a bodybuilder, it's good, but to be honest, as a powerlifter, it's not good.
Yeah,
Because
but-
I've seen powerlifters. There's a guy I've got here. His name is Ndusu John.
Okay.
He's one of one. Okay, he benches I think 180 at 17.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow,
he's a world
mashallah.
record squat holder. He squats 340.
MashaAllah, that's ridiculous.
And currently, he's now in Romania competing in IPF Worlds.
Mhm.
Now, he's now in Cluj-Napoca, I think. He's there now competing. So, and also, John, if you're watching this, good luck, man. You know I'm your number one supporter. I bought his shirt. He had a merch, and I bought his shirt, which was something very nice that he made. Have you ever thought of starting your own merch?
Not really.
Never.
Not really.
But how many brands did you work with?
I've only worked with Squat Wolf.
That was the only one.
Yeah, I got offers before, but it wasn't very good brands, to be honest.
Will you ever work with good brands if you found them helpful?
Absolutely, yeah. If I actually like the quality of their clothes, then why not?
But like when you work with a brand, you have to see first what are they offering, then you choose.
Yeah, of course.
You don't just say, "Hey, how much you're gonna pay me?" Then let's
No.
just do
It's
it.
more about, for me, it's more about the quality of the clothes. I'm not going to promote something that I don't believe in. So if the quality of the clothes is good, and if it fits well, most importantly, I will go for it.
Nice. So good luck.
Thank you, man.
So yeah, I think we have 3 minutes.
Okay, you want to end it with a satisfying question?
Yeah. Let me
Let's
think
see.
of something. Editor, you don't need to cut this, okay, Mr. Editor? It's okay. I'll think about something. So what's your best pose?
My best pose is probably when I just roll my shoulders and arms in front.
Like
'Cause,
most muscular?
Yeah, because I have this capability. Like I've heard not everyone can do it, but like my scapula, I can roll it in front and I can stick my shoulders out. So when I do like this pose and I stick my shoulders and arms out, it looks crazy, you know? But yeah, I do this pose a lot. If you follow me on Instagram, I always
Yeah,
like
and you're
roll my
lucky,
shoulders.
like don't need to use arm blaster. You can just use your scalp.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's your best pose?
No, if I'm kind of going for bodybuilding and trying to look as big as possible, yeah, I'll just roll my shoulders and arms in front, and it does the job. But
That scares your opponents?
no, I don't do that on stage, bro.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of like men's physique, I think both hands on the hips is a strong pose for me, because you know men's physique they usually put one hand on the hip, but for me, I found when I put both my hands on the hips, like it shows the physique much better and it shows off the V taper. So yeah, I think my best pose in terms of competing would be the both hands on the hips.
But man, honestly, if I saw you at 16 or like 15, whenever you started, I've seen the pictures. You've done an awesome good job.
Thank you so
I've
much.
seen it. Like, did your father, mom, like after 2 months, they'll be like, "What's happening?"
Well,
Did they ever do that? Like,
no, it was never a sudden change because they see me every day. Like, for
okay.
example, if you were friends with me back then in school and then summer break happened and then I came back, you would see a massive difference. But for my parents, they saw me every single day, so they
But
never
did
really.
people notice like, "Hey,
Oh, yeah, in school it was
you start going
ridiculous.
to the gym?"
Oh, in school it was ridiculous, bro. People were like grabbing my arm and like, Ollie, where did this come from? You know what I mean? So, yeah, that first period of new begins was absolutely ridiculous. The first 1 year, 2 years, I would even say up to 3 years, it was just crazy.
You were happy with it?
About what?
Your progress?
Of course, like the thing is, when you're lifting, you don't notice your own progress. It's only
I think when you do pictures and
yeah, but when you look at yourself,
people.
but when you look at yourself every day, you never notice your own progress when you're lifting. It's only when you see someone after a long time. It's very funny. When you meet someone after a while, they'll kind of see a different perspective. They're like, yo, your arms got much bigger or your chest got much bigger. But when you're looking at your physique every day, you never notice like, am I progressing or I just look the same? You never like see that perspective, you know what I mean? So that's why it's funny when you see someone after a while, and especially if you've been lifting, they can kind of see what actually happened with your physique rather than you're just self-assessing and like living in your mind.
So does any of your siblings go to the gym?
Yeah.
Who?
Now recently my youngest brother started going.
So is he doing good progress?
Yeah.
Are you coaching him?
Yes, I'm trying my best to help him out.
Does he listen?
Yeah.
That's good.
The discipline is there.
So
I'm
how long has he
excited.
been training?
Just a couple of months.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Me? No, we'll talk after, behind the scenes. Yeah, so happy with today's episode.
Man, what an episode, right?
I think time has passed very fast.
That was a good episode.
We'll probably do podcast episode number 3. So, hey guys, I'm very happy with you watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. We are very real people, you know. There's no arrogance, there's no planning, there's no nothing. Maybe for some people, they might feel like it's stupid. But for some people, also, they're too smart like me. They're too hot like me. They don't need even to plan anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode and have a great day. See you guys later. Bye.